When the cop pulled me over, he looked at my license and said, "You were reported missing in 2003. I looked at the cop through my rearview mirror and watched him freeze. His whole body went rigid like someone hit pause. He stared at my license, then at my face, then back at my license. "Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle." My stomach dropped. "What? Why? I wasn't speeding." "Please step out of the vehicle. Now." I got out slowly, hands visible, heart pounding. He was already on his radio, voice low and urgent. I caught fragments. "Need to verify. Possible match. Send backup. Officer, what's going on?" He held up one hand, still talking into his radio, eyes never leaving me. Within 3 minutes, 2 more patrol cars pulled up. A female officer approached while the first cop stayed back, hand near his weapon like I might bolt. "What's your name?" the female officer asked. "Tyler Hammond." She exchanged a look with the male cop. "And your date of birth?" "March 14th, 1989. "Where were you born?" "Portland, Oregon." The questions kept coming. Mother's maiden name, childhood address, schools I attended. I answered everything, my voice shaking harder with each question. Finally, the female officer pulled out her phone and showed me a photo. "Is this you?" I stared at the screen. It was a missing persons flyer. Tyler James Hammond, age 14. Last seen June 2003. The photo showed a kid with braces and a terrible haircut, but it was definitely my face. "That's not possible," I whispered. "I was never missing." "Sir, this report has been active for 21 years. It was filed by your parents." "My parents?" I hadn't spoken to them in over a decade. Not since I was 18 and finally escaped. "My parents filed that?" My voice came out hollow. "Your mother, specifically. She reported you kidnapped by your father during a custody dispute." The world tilted sideways. Custody dispute. That's what she called it. "I need to sit down." They let me sit in the back of the patrol car. "Not arrested," they said. "Just talking." But the door locks were child-proof, and I couldn't get out. The female officer sat in the front seat and turned to face me. "Can you tell me what happened in 2003? I took a shaky breath. "My mom was married to a man named Richard, not my biological father. Richard he hurt me. A lot. When I was 14, my real dad found out. He showed up one day when Richard was at work and mom was passed out drunk. And he took me." "Took you where?" "Montana. He had a cabin. We lived there for 4 years. Off the grid. He homeschooled me." "Why didn't you contact authorities?" "Because he saved my life." My voice cracked. Mom knew what Richard was doing. She knew, and she let it happen because Richard paid for her pills and her vodka. My dad told me if we contacted anyone, they'd send me back to her. Back to Richard. The officer's expression softened. "What happened when you turned 18? "Dad died. Heart attack. Sudden. I had to figure out how to exist again. Got my GED, started community college, built a normal life. I didn't know I was considered missing." She made notes on her phone. "And you never tried to contact your mother?" "Why would I?" The bitterness surprised even me. She chose Richard over me. She filed a missing persons report to punish my dad, not because she wanted me back. The officer stepped out and talked to the other cops. I watched through the window as they made calls, checked databases, consulted with someone who looked like a supervisor. 30 minutes passed. 45. I kept checking my phone for the time, but one of them had taken it as evidence. Finally, the female officer came back. "We verified your story with school records and your dad's death certificate. The missing persons report is being closed." Relief flooded through me. "So I can go?" "In a minute. There's something you should know." My stomach clenched again. "Your mother passed away 6 months ago. Liver failure." I waited for grief to hit. It didn't come. Just numbness. "And Richard?" "Arrested 8 years ago. Different victim. He's in prison." I closed my eyes. Some other kid. Some other son whose mother didn't protect him. "We need to ask if you want to press charges against your father's estate for kidnapping." "Kidnapping?" I laughed sharp and bitter. "He rescued me." "Legally. Removing a minor without custody." "No." My voice came out harder than I intended. "My dad gave me 4 years of safety. 4 years where nobody hurt me. He died knowing I was okay. I'm not turning that into a crime." The officer nodded slowly. "Okay, you're free to go." They gave me back my license and phone. As I walked to my car, the first cop called out, "Sir, for what it's worth, I'm glad you're okay." I drove home and sat in my driveway for 20 minutes, staring at nothing. 21 years. I'd been missing for 21 years. But I'd never been lost. I'd been exactly where I needed to be. The only missing person was the kid who would have existed if my mother had chosen differently. That version of me disappeared in 2003. And honestly, good riddance.